Welcome back to Speakeasy, Drink Better. We got a really cool show for you today because today we're going to talk about the origin of the B-Bar Speakeasy here at the Carl in lovely Morristown, New Jersey. You know, Edelweiss and Alex, you guys invited me in your home to do a whiskey tasting last year, right around your birthday, almost a year ago.
Yep.
And I actually got my first opportunity to hang out at this bar right here, seated where I am now. So I thought that, like, you know, why don't I just take this seat back and let you guys kind of stand in front of your bar, this place that you've created, and we're going to talk about where this all came from. So, you know, my first question is, how? Not even so much why, because the why is obvious. The why is obvious. Your love for travel and bars and all and experiences and giving that to people and giving back to it. But like, how did you do this? How did it come about?
How did we do this? It was just deciding to do it and going for it. Designing the space, which was obviously, like you said, in the works for many years. This is a collection of many years of traveling, going to different hotel, lobby bars.
Yeah. Lots of research.
Lots of
research.
It is the combination of years of research and just getting inspired from all the places that we've been to, right?
Good and bad. I mean, go to some places that have beautiful, beautiful spots and great everything, but maybe they really stunk at the bar. But so it's kind of, hey, you know what? How do we get that with around us all the time? And so some place that we can enjoy, that's our own, kind of create something that makes sense for us, and to be able to invite friends over and enjoy and celebrate, and also have a great time behind the bar, really being creative. Bug has struck us.
Yeah, I mean, this bar, I mean, your home in general screams creativity, but this bar specifically. And I mean, you know, the first time that I came down here, you actually had mentioned that you were going to be written up in NJ Home magazine, which we actually have the article right here. So this edition is the December 2024 and January 2025 edition of NJ Home, and Edelweiss and Alex's home was featured, but specifically we have a nice write-up here on the B-Bar, and as you can see, there's a lot here to talk about. I mean, the stylings here are incredible. Is there any particular motif that you were going for? Any particular bar that really stood out in your head where you were designing this? Is there, you know, are you taking components from others and trying to blend that together with your own style? Talk to me a little bit about that process.
It's definitely a mosh of like different components from different places that we've been to. But I think that most importantly, I wanted the essence of this bar to like be like a replica of what I already have going on upstairs in my own home. So as you can see, there's a lot of elements from specifically our kitchen and our dining room, I guess, that were brought down here. I wanted to keep the flow going. I wanted everything to still be cohesive, right? Because my home, as you can see, and obviously the entire home got featured. As you can see, this is my kitchen, our kitchen, because you do most of the cooking.
I do live here.
Well, you guys have
he does most of the cooking. I just sit there and watch him cook and enjoy his delicious food. Yeah. But this is actually where we used to always hang out. So this is our kitchen, and well, you know our home, and you know we also have a wet bar upstairs, which is the original Carl. Yeah. And that's where we used to entertain. And as much as I love my kitchen, I didn't always want to be sitting at the kitchen island, right? Yeah. I knew we had the space. We had this entire basement to work off of. So it was always something we had talked about ever since we bought the house 10 years ago, almost, right? We're coming up on our 10-year house anniversary. We knew that one day this basement was going to be converted into, you know, I call it like an adult, like, playground, right? It's like where we come and have fun and enjoy ourselves. But yeah, basically it's carrying that same mood and that same feel from our kitchen down here. So as you can see, these pendant lights are similar to what we have upstairs, and the black, obviously my dining room is, you know, all black wallpaper, and I wanted this whole area to be black. And then it's inspiration from different bars, some in like,
and it's funny
all over the world. I mean,
we had this idea, and some people thought we were pretty much crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give you a great story. We were thinking about when we painted this, we had the contractor, hey, listen, we want you to paint this black. Literally, the guy looked at us like we had 5 heads. So the guy's thinking, hey, do you really want to paint this all black? She goes, yes. And he's like, are you sure? She goes, yes. So finally he paints it, slowly but surely. He saw it. He goes,
he starts to get
it. He goes, he got the vision. He goes, okay. I get it now, and you know it's all about layering and really making it what it is. It's not just about the paint; it's all about everything else you put in here. Of course, the feel, everything else you add to it to make it feel warm, inviting. The bottles, the collections that really go along with this as you start really getting into the spirits world.
Yeah,
but it's not the first time I've been called crazy for wanting to do something all black, right?
Yeah,
Talking about my dining room, it's all black wallpaper. Same thing. We had their wood floor stained dark, and same thing. Contractor was like, "You want the dark floors with dark walls? You're crazy."
Wait, isn't your ceiling painted pink?
It is pink, yes, because I love color. Even though I'm a black and white girl, like that's my favorite color. I do like the
pops.
I like the pops. Obviously, you know, I'm a stylist, both interior and personal stylist. So I just like playing around with different textures, different colors, patterns. I love mixing patterns. And I guess my advice to our audience is don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to mix and match. It's not like, you know, no pun intended, black or white. It can be whatever you want it to be. And don't let anyone talk you out of it.
Exactly.
Don't ever
At
let
the end of the
someone
day,
tell
remember
you
one thing.
You're crazy.
It's just paint. You can paint right over it. Okay, it might take a couple extra coats, but it's just paint. Don't be afraid. Everybody's going to try to, hey, if you make a mistake, you can correct it. It's not an expensive mistake. You know, you can really, you know, go out there and be a little bit more.
Be bold.
Be
kind
bold.
of thing.
Be
Yeah,
bold.
just go for it. Whatever you're feeling, just don't be afraid to do what you want to do. At the end of the day, it is your home. So even though we've been told by contractors, you're crazy, you shouldn't be doing that. Even our own family is like, oh, are you sure you want to do all black? It's our home, it's our space. And granted, once everyone has seen the, you know, end result, everyone's like blown away, right? It's like, oh my God, like you had the vision and you knew what you were doing. I'm like, yeah.
And this is special too. So somebody coming from the industry and like, you know, you guys being customers of mine when I was working in the shop in the industry, and you know, you'd show me pictures as this place was getting built and as this place was being finished, and I was just increasingly impressed with each new development that I saw, and then getting to finally see it last May, it really kind of brought it all together. So yeah, I can absolutely understand what you guys are talking about, and that's kind of the whole reason why, you know, the first time I was here, I had the epiphany. It was like, hey, listen, we got to bring this into other people's homes. We got to figure out a way to do it, and I think that, you know, through Speakeasy Drink Better, we get an opportunity to do that. So got a little bit of the history, got a little bit of the feel. You know, you see these beautiful bottles of bourbon behind us. I mean, you guys, we've talked about this in other episodes, but travel around the country to get these bottles and, you know, searching long and far and wide to grab these bottles. A lot of really great stuff here that you share with everybody that comes in, and we also share with our viewers as well.
Yeah, and I want to mention that this isn't like, you know, all said and done. This is a rotating shelves. I like to call these like my curated shelves. So they're constantly changing. I like obviously collecting bottles that either have been gifted by someone, like people that come to our home, come visit our bar. They like making it on the shelf. It's kind of like, you know, the ongoing like joke. Like, you want to make it on the shelf? Well, you know, bring us a bottle and you'll end up there.
It ends up with a story.
So,
absolutely.
At the end of the day, and I think the article on NJ Home really captures the essence of what we're all about, which is, you know, a house that tells stories. And that's exactly who we are. We are storytellers. And this is just by virtue of all the things and places that we've been to. And
you know, if you ask some of our friends, there's a lot of stories behind a lot of the travels, and some of them will make
There's
you
a lot of
laugh.
anecdotes.
There's a lot of anecdotes, and all my friends, some of the stories we tell sometimes, they don't even believe it, but they're true, and they've happened on some travels. But at the end of the day, you know, all these bottles come with a story. There's more in the other room that we have another another episode we'll touch.
Yeah, we'll look at that.
We'll have another,
because this is huge. I mean, this is not only maybe a third or a quarter of what we're actually seeing right now is the bar, and there's a whole lot more to this. I mean, there's a wine cellar under the stairs. There's a private bourbon bottle room. There is a lot of really cool stuff we're going to get to show on here, but I think that the B bar, the Speakeasy right here, this is the focal
where it
point.
all happens.
And I think, you know, that is a perfect segue for what's about to happen next. I'm going to charge you guys both with something, okay? Because the first time I came down here, you each poured me a cocktail. And for our viewers, what we're going to do today is we're going to have a little throwdown. So let's get prepped. We'll leave you here, and we'll see you in just a second. And, you know, I'm going to be the judge of this, so bring it, all right?
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, get ready.
Well, slight scene change. We got the two Brescias behind the bar right now. We're about to have a cocktail throwdown. So the first time that I came through here, you guys both made me a cocktail. Today, we're making some unique cocktails that you guys have come up with yourself. So are you ready to go?
It's on, throwdown time. Let's go, let's see.
I like that.
Who's the king of the bar?
Well, I hope you all went, or the queen.
Yeah,
So
whoever wins.
we hope you're all ready. We're going to talk a little bit about these cocktails. We're going to let them do their thing because this is what they're good at. This is going to be some fun. All right. First things first, as you guys are preparing your cocktails,
Any special rules here?
The special rules is
impress
impress me. At the end of the day, you guys are using all different ingredients. These are completely different cocktails. You're doing the riffs on other cocktails, right? That's an important thing. These are ones that you've come up with yourself, right? So I want you to each mix at the same time. We're going to go first to Edelweiss. You're going to tell us a little bit about your cocktail. Alex, tell us a little bit about yours. I might ask you some questions as you guys are going, and when we finish up, we're going to have two beautiful cocktails in front of us. I'm going to try them out, and we're going to see who wins, all right? So without further ado, let's get it on. Go ahead.
All right, I'm excited to be doing my cocktail du jour, the Better Than an Espresso Martini.
Rock and roll. And Alex, you can get rolling too at the same time, rocking on yours.
I'm
We'll talk about yours in a little bit.
I don't want to steal her stage, you know.
Tell you guys a little bit about why and how this drink.
Okay.
So I've been a huge espresso martini person way longer before it became like,
before it was cool?
Before it was cool to
Yeah.
drink espresso martinis. But I'm a huge bourbon lover, so I thought, why not do a riff instead of using vodka, use bourbon, and instead of shaking it and serving it up on a martini glass, I decided to stir it and serve it on a rock.
I like that. Rock and roll.
So like I said, I'm replacing the vodka with bourbon, and then I'm using, for purposes of just practicality, I don't use an actual shot of espresso, but I use coffee liqueur.
Yeah, that's St. George. That's cool. It's made in California. That's really good stuff. It's kind of a New Orleans style too. So for those of you who haven't tried St. George spirits or tried the spirits and the cocktails, really, really good stuff. This is a chicory coffee liqueur, I believe, and it's super delicious.
And the real inspiration, I have to say, behind this Better Than Espresso Martini is actually our very local espresso limoncello liqueur from Asbury Park Distillery.
Oh, how about
So
that?
I found this over the summer, and it just caught my attention that I decided to buy it. And then I'm like, what am I going to do with it? Of course, I didn't want to just drink it straight up. So that is actually how this cocktail was born, right? And
Yeah.
now I think I've perfected it enough that I get a lot of requests for it here at the B Bar. I get a lot of people come down here and be like, can you make me a Better Than Espresso Martini?
It's on the menu too, so for those of you who don't know, they actually have their own menu here of cocktails that they've created, and that's the bottom one on the list right there, Better Than an Espresso Martini. I'm excited to try this one. I haven't tried this one, and I can't wait to see what it tastes like, because I too love espresso martinis. But we've got that going. You're going to get your garnish going, or if you're not, no big deal the other way. But Alex, tell me a little bit about what you're mixing, because you were rolling back there too at the same time.
Let's try to get a little bit ahead, but give you a quick run up here. What we are making is kind of, I'm calling it the fig manan. So
Okay.
we're taking the riff on a manan, served on a rock. Very interesting recipe. You're really just using a good rye whiskey. So it's a good rye bourbon whiskey here. What we've got, high rye. Nice Kochi vermouth.
Yeah, that's lip service rye. Actually, that comes from that's Orange Swift spirits. That's Savage and Cook, right? Yeah.
So, but this is what really makes it, guys. So it's actually as fig balsamic vinegar.
Oh, okay.
So it's an aged fig balsamic. You wouldn't think of putting it in a cocktail, but good riff on it.
But you would.
Gives it a great taste. Something once you put it in there, a little bit of angostura, it brings a little bit of sweetness, of tartness. The Kochi's going to help balance it out.
All right.
So great, nice cocktail. Good balance. Not all that spirit forward, but very enjoyable. So
all right, let's try that.
Here. That's what's in here.
Pour that one
I
out.
really started giving it a couple stirs.
You want to tell us where the inspiration for this cocktail came?
Yeah, the place down in Atlantic City called Angeline that we always go to.
Yeah.
They would have something off the menu there. We kind of took that, did a riff on it. Plenty of visits there, and we got inspired. But it's a great cocktail.
And again, all these cocktails that we make down at the B Bar, when we talk about riffs, it really is simplifying. A lot of these cocktails, like I said, an espresso martini typically calls for an actual shot of espresso coffee,
Yep,
that you have to, get it from the machine, brew it, and go through the whole process.
Yeah.
Obviously, we don't have an espresso machine down here, and we do have one upstairs. But just making everything simple down here. So going back to my cocktail really quickly, it's 2 ounces of bourbon. I use this great find,
Few.
which is Few. It's actually
Illinois,
a cold
right?
brew coffee.
Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Few. That's where it comes from.
Yeah, it's actually
Cold cut.
very good. It's a cold cut cold brew coffee, bourbon whiskey.
That's awesome.
So
I
it's
love
2
that.
ounces of that, 1 ounce of the coffee liqueur we were talking about
Right.
earlier, half an ounce of banana liqueur. This is
Yeah.
Giffard.
Giffard, yeah.
And the secret ingredient, the
Asbury
Asbury
Park.
Park Espresso Limoncello. That's also half an ounce. Give it a quick
Beautiful.
stir over some ice, and then just pour. And of course, the garnish.
Nice
I
little
use a little
garnish.
banana chip in there
Ooh,
to
that's
reference
beautiful.
the banana liqueur. And
That's
that is
beautiful.
my cocktail. So
I love that.
enjoy.
Well, since yours was the first one done, this is the first one that I try. I want to hear what's in that in a second, but this looks really awesome. So, right off the bat on the nose is, coffee forward, but not overly so. Kind of reminds me a little bit, weirdly enough, like a little tiramisu, but that just might be like that little bit of coffee that's on there. But I really like this. You get to touch that banana, it's very tropical. Oh my God. Oh, wow. Okay, so
Crowd favorite.
I got to tell you, the sweetness was what I was worried about, but it's actually perfectly balanced. And I think it has a lot to do with that, like the citrus and the coffee that's in that limoncello liqueur. I really, really enjoy this cocktail. I mean, the presentation is so much fun. Those beautiful ice cubes in here are awesome.
Yeah, I found it that most people like it, whether you're a coffee lover or you're not, whether you're a bourbon person or not. I've had women that don't typically go for the spirit forward, that are not like bourbon, fans. They still really enjoy this cocktail. Same with like people that don't like coffee. I hardly have ever heard someone say like, "Ooh, this is too,"
No, it's
I
perfectly
think that,
balanced.
yeah, exactly. It's all about the balance on that cocktail. It's
Honestly.
like a dessert on a glass.
Well, are you
Yeah.
done so I can present mine?
I
I
gotta sell
Oh, she really got going. Let's see where we at.
What do you got?
So
Tell me.
here we go. So
Stage
here's
is
the thing in
yours.
my hand. 2 ounces of the rye, about a quarter ounce of this fig.
Okay.
It's very
It's just a
strong.
touch 'cause it's
Just a
strong.
touch,
It's
very
got some
strong.
strength.
Couple
See,
dashes of
yeah.
Angostura, about an ounce or so of the kochi in there,
Mm-hmm.
and stirred it up, served. The garnish is a fresh basil leaf.
Yeah.
Gives it that freshness. There's something about it.
Fig and basil,
Give it
classic,
nice-
grows together,
grows
grows
great.
together,
So-
goes together, yeah.
Here you go.
All right, it's
That's
cool.
our fig Manhattan.
Oof. All right, this reminds me of summertime. It's really nice. It's got some really deep caramelized flavors. I think it's from the fig. That basil is such an incredible foil to that too, because it really helps to balance the nose out. And this is what it's all about, guys. That you can add savory ingredients to these cocktails to make them really interesting, make the fruit flavors pop, make those things kind of be in balance with each other, what we were talking about before. This cocktail is impressively balanced, and I can smell this already. This is gonna be good. All right, here we go.
Drum roll, please.
I gotta go back to that one. Oh, the mouthfeel on that one is awesome too.
Yeah. That's that balsamic. This is like an 18-year-old.
And do you want to tell our audience
So
where
yeah,
you got
we
that?
got this. Actually, we go to the Essex Market in New York City.
Yeah.
Little shop there. He does a lot of oils and seasonings,
Vinegars,
and
oils, and spices. It's
Love that.
called
Great
Essex Olive and Spice.
Essex olive
So
and spice.
don't be afraid to use food ingredients,
Food.
right?
We
Exactly.
got a couple more of these in there for a couple other episodes, but this stuff is spectacular. You would think vinegar, it's going to be something unenjoyable.
Ah.
It's really helps balance out the drink.
What we talk about in food and culinary, right? Salt, fat, acid, heat, right? So all those things translate perfectly over to cocktails, and I think that as we move forward, we're gonna really run the line of all of those possibilities. But these here, honestly, it's a toss up because they're both so different. The colors look similar really close up, but that this is these are two completely different cocktails. So for me, I'm gonna have to go. A little quick tasty. Oh, it's so good. Oh my god. Man, this is gonna bother me.
It's a tie. It's a tie. You gotta be a winner here.
Oh, there's gotta be a winner. You know what? Alex, I love your cocktail, man. I really do. That basil, that fig, all that going on, and it's freaking delicious. And it's something like I've never had in a Manhattan before. Edelweiss, you win. And here's why, and this is why, and this is it. Because as far as creativity is concerned, you took a cocktail that is very, very different from anything that you put in this glass, and you made this reminiscent of that cocktail. You took a preconceived notion that I had and flipped it on its head, and that really freaked me out, and I really love that. And the fact that it's not overly sweet, both of these cocktails are perfectly balanced, but the fact that it's not overly sweet, that really won me over, and that's something that I could order for my fiance as well, and she would love that. She'd love that too, but that is what she's going for at the end of the day. I think the crowd pleaser here is definitely that better than espresso martini, but that Fig Manhattan is so delicious too. There are no wrong answers when it comes to cocktails. It's all about having fun, but today...
One of each.
Yeah, today, I'll take one of each, but today I think Edelweiss might have taken it.
All right, she's got it.
Where's my command?
Hey, let us know if you enjoy this. Let us know if you like this kind of format. We'll do these cocktail throwdowns too, and I mean, hey, maybe I'll get involved too. Yeah.
All right. Fun. Well, guys.
All right.
Great finish to another great episode.
Oh man. So, hey guys, thank you so much for sharing the V-Bar with me. Of course, the first time you did, and then every time after, we get to bring our viewers in here and show them a good time. So thank you so much, guys. Give yourselves a little clink. Those are delicious. Thank you so much for letting me try those, guys.
Thank you.
It's a wrap for this episode.
Thank you for joining us at our V-Bar Speakeasy.
That's right. And as always, drink better responsibly. Have a good night, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.